Okay, I'm going to show you guys how to do some steak and eggs today on the Blackstone Griddle. T-bone steak and eggs it is. How I like to do it anyways, so stay tuned, follow along. So first things first, get a nice steak. Don't skimp out if you're going to do steak and eggs, folks. So what I like to do is get a little bit of this moisture off first thing. That's how you're going to get that better crust, of course. Don't forget, get it off of the plate too. Just get that extra fat off of there. This thing's coming in right under 2 pounds. Don't normally do this big a steak, but I couldn't find any smaller T-bones. But also like skirt steak, sirloin steak and eggs is great too. You don't have to have an expensive cut, but anyhow, that's what I found. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna wash up. Once this thing comes to room temperature, we're gonna season it up and get the Blackstone Griddle nice and hot for this bad boy. Next, I like to just spray it with a little bit of the duck fat, and then I take a little bit of olive oil, just some good Evo, and just kind of rub the olive oil in a bit. This is gonna be a binder for the seasonings plus olive oil and duck fat. You can't go wrong, it adds a bit of flavor. Again, we're looking for that char on the Blackstone. This is gonna do it. So stay tuned, we're gonna get this Blackstone fired up momentarily. Now it's time to season this thing up. I like to use a little bit of coarse, good salt, if you will. Again, we're looking for that crust. Always just a little bit of black pepper, can't go wrong. And then what I personally like in the mornings, nothing crazy, again, no bad stuff, is the Suckle Busters SPG. Just a light coat of that on a breakfast steak, you can't go wrong. And that, in my opinion, is a perfectly seasoned steak. Perfectly seasoned T-bone. So we're gonna do the other side, get the sides really well. You wanna make sure you get this thing crusted up. We're gonna do the other side and then let this rest out here for a little bit longer and sear it up. Stay tuned for that. Steak is seasoned up, SPG, duck fat, a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. Gonna get that Blackstone Griddle steaming hot, and we're gonna sear this T-bone up. Everybody have a good day. Stay tuned for more. Okay, poolside Blackstone steaming hot. We're gonna put this bad boy on right here. Like just press it down a little bit. Get good contact on the Blackstone. Press that T-bone down nice and solid. Get that contact. Yes. You guys could smell this. Woo, baby. All right. Let's let this get a nice crust. We don't want to touch this for at least like 4 or 5 minutes. We'll start to see a little bit of juices around the bottom, and the edge will start to crust. That's when we know we're ready for a flip. So we're gonna come back to this, but we don't want to leave it out here unattended. You never know, a dog could come in here and swoop it up. So you gotta watch it. Not really, but we're gonna watch it. Okay, my neighbors are mowing their yard, so it makes for a great YouTube video, but what I did was put a little smidge of butter on here for the flip. I don't like a whole lot of butter on the steak. Just a little bit, so I figure on the flip is where I'm gonna put it at. Already kind of just greased the griddle up a little bit with some oil, so should have a really nice crust and be able to flip this bad boy here in about another 2 minutes or so. As you can see, fat's starting to render. This T-bone smells delicious. We're gonna do some steak and eggs on the Blackstone Griddle. Everybody have a great day. Stay tuned for more. So it's been right at about 4 minutes. Gonna give this T-bone a flip. Look at that. Go ahead and press that bone back in nice and good. We want that solid contact on this. Let that fat start to render, build that crust. And again, we're gonna let this go for about another 4 minutes, and we can put it up on a cooling rack if necessary. to get the internal temp where you guys like it. I like mine about medium rare, which is where we're gonna do it. Don't wanna put the steak and flip it in the same spot where you initially cooked it in. That's why when you watch, when I flipped it, I did it on a clean spot of the griddle. That's how we build that crust. You flip the steak back here, in the same spot you cooked it in, you're not gonna get that awesome crust. But we're gonna save this for the eggs. Don't mess with that. So as you can see, steak is just about ready. And we brought out some eggs. We're gonna crack these directly on the Blackstone. It's a one-handed crack, not bad. Okay, we've got eggs cracked. Steak's almost ready. Now, what I like to do on the steak, or excuse me, the eggs, is just a little bit of the 1836 from Sucklebusters. Just definitely elevates the egg a little bit with the already seasoned steak. And we're gonna let these ride out for just a few more minutes and flip. Steak should be ready. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and take the steak and move it to our cooling rack right here on the Blackstone, just so it keeps it warm. But we don't want to burn the bad boy. Let this be nice and juicy and ride out for just another minute or two while the eggs finish up. And I think we're going to be eating really good for breakfast this morning. Finish the steak off with a little bit of good butter from Kerrygold. Is what I like to use. Just let that melt in. And now let's flip the eggs over. Try not to break the yolk, although that one was already broken. But everything's still going to be delicious. Let that finish up and we're going to serve it up and eat. So, finished version of steak and eggs. That's what we used. I would say this looks pretty ridiculous for a T-bone, nice and juicy. The eggs look amazing. So let's cut into it and see what we've got. Definitely looks good. Blackstone Griddle gets it done. So there you have it, steak and eggs. Definitely good. Blackstone gets it done. Eggs a little bit overdone in my opinion, but it's all good. Yeah, not bad. I'm gonna take it. He's gonna get a little bite and it's gonna be a good day. Breakfast served up on the Blackstone Griddle, steak and eggs. Everybody stay tuned for more.